What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Now, I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do the Midnights with Marcus Maven. I wasn't going to kidnap anybody from their Valentine's Day celebrations. But, let's be honest. It ends at a certain point during the day. Like right after a certain point of your Valentine's, like the day ends. So I don't guess it matters until you go up to 11. But let me know y'all are in here real quick. Let me know y'all are in here so then I can get to the steps. I can get to today's show is going to be based on what things. Good evening, Lauren. Good evening, Bradley. Today's evening show is going to be short, but the original idea was 5 tips to remember for the day after Valentine's Day. 5. What's going on, Andrew? Okay, the show title, the show theme. 5 things to remember, 5 tips for the day after Valentine's Day. So a couple of y'all let me know you're in here and I can get started. Because listen, the reason I decided to do that subject, because, during the week, I listen to everybody talk about their Valentines. I listen to everybody, make last minute plans, and I listen to everybody do all that good stuff, right? But it's not the Valentine's Day that really secures how well things are going to be moving forward. Half price candy. Okay. Denise, that is one thing to remember. Half price candy on the 15th. Indeed. But Valentine's is overrated. Lauren, listen, I'm not a big holiday person in general, so you can pretty much tell me any holiday is overrated and I'm going to agree with you. But I don't like to spoil other people's holidays and stuff like that. So I don't really like publicly just bash on any holidays or anything like that. What's going on, Lachelle? If you're just getting in here, I got to let you know the tips for the 15th. Now you got to understand, this is coming from my perspective, my experience, my friends, all that good stuff. So the advice I might say, you might kind of understand it. It might not be applicable to you in particular. It may or may not be, but mine is coming from Marcus Maven's position. So, okay, so we got enough of y'all in here, so I can start it out. I wrote it down, and I'm hoping I can remember the 5th one before I get to it. But these are tips. These are like the do's and don'ts for the 15th, not the 14th. Because Valentine, listen, unless you're like broke, like that, like being broke will kill a Valentine's. Yeah, I mean, if you got game or you can be creative, you can figure something out even when you're broke. But that's already like you're gonna have a harder Valentine's Day if your money ain't right. So, number one. The number one, and these are not in necessary order of importance, number 1 tips for the 15th of February. Do not bring up what you did for her or him yesterday. What am I saying? If at any point you get the urge, because here's the thing. If let's say you did the bells and whistles and you did all this stuff, right? For a female or a male. Say you did all this stuff, right? Don't remind them of it. Don't bring it up the next day and be like, I did this for you and I did that for you. No, because here's the thing. Sometimes when you do a lot for somebody, you expect them to still be thanking you the next day and the day after and the day after. It's not going to happen. Listen, they're not going to be indebted to you. They're not going to be an indentured servant to you on the 15th. And again, speaking from a guy's point of view, right? I listened to a million guys talk about how much they did the next day and how their lady friends' attitude is right back to normal attitude. And all of my friends have all been heated. And again, some of this don't really apply to the long-term marriages and stuff. This is still the window where things are still kind of spicy in the relationship. Do not bring up what you did for her or him on the 15th. Nothing will make them like, oh God, like, listen, you're not going to get the appreciation you want on February 15th. They don't want to hear about what you did, because then it's like, oh, now you think, I owe you. We both had a good Valentine's Day. I don't owe you on the 15th, 16th, 17th. So that's number one. Frontman James. What's going on? Have press candies up ready. And you can listen, if you have a suggestion, or if you have a 15th of February tip, a day after Valentine's Day tip, I actually want y'all to get y'all's in here too. Let me see what y'all are thinking. Tip number two. Again, disclaimer, I am speaking from guys, my buddies, all that kind of stuff. But if you are the sponsor of the Valentine's, and what I mean sponsor, if you are the person who paid for the Valentine's Day, whatever we do, you're the sponsor, this applies to you. Number two, actually, if you're not the sponsor, this applies to you. That's what I meant to say. Sponsor, in my history, it's usually the man. It may be the woman, but y'all get the point. Whoever's not the sponsor, this really applies to you. So, if your girl takes you out to eat, I don't care if she makes all the money, if she takes you out to eat. Ladies, if the guy takes you out to eat on Valentine's Day and you get the big dog everything, whatever you do, especially like if he upclasses you, if he gives you the big upgrade meal, on the 15th, the person who didn't pay for Valentine's Day needs to either cook or bring dinner themselves. You don't let somebody go all out on Valentine's Day, food, dinner, eating out, and then on the 15th, let them pay for dinner again. Because dudes or whoever pays for all the Valentines, nothing's worse than that 15th when you're like, damn, I just paid a big grip for Valentine's dinner. All of a sudden, Applebee's bill, you like, good Lord. What's really important is if you're eating breakfast alone. So, tip number two, if you didn't pay for the Valentine's Day meal yourself, you need to find a way to either cook or pay for the meal on the 15th. This is a very, very important rule to remember, because, again, the sponsor who pays for the Valentine's meal, it just stings on the 15th. Do you expect anything or want anything as a guy for Valentine? You know what? This is kind of what this conversation is all about. No, you don't expect anything, right? But here's the thing. You don't expect anything, but here's the thing. You have to do the right things on the 15th to get the full benefit of the Valentine's Day experience. Because everybody can do Valentine things on Valentine's Day. But if you screw up on the 15th, whichever end, lady, man, whoever, sponsor or sponsee, if either one of y'all screw up the 15th, it's gonna have a lasting impact on y'all relationship, and you won't even realize what happened. So number 2 is very important. If you didn't pay for Valentine's dinner, make sure you provide the meal on the next day. Again, cook, bring something back-to-back purchasing of meals after, the Valentine's already hits you. Day 2, look, on the 15th, nobody wants to pay for that meal. Or the person who bought Valentine's Day, if he has to pay or she has to pay on the 15th, this ain't gonna be fun. This is not gonna be fun. Yeah, 21 years. Yeah, no, you don't expect anything. You just eat it. You just gotta own. Listen, Sean, I said this stuff might not apply to the long term. This is when guys still get in trouble and girls still get mad, and this is when it's still a little spicier on these advisory tips. So yeah, number 2, don't let the sponsor of Valentine's Day be the sponsor on February 15th. It's a very dangerous mistake. Number 3, again, this is for the new relationship. This is for the new situations where y'all are still jealous, super jealous of each other. Y'all still don't know. And this is still, look, early marriages, this is still spicy area that I'm talking about right now. Tip number 3. This is very, very, very important, especially in the age of social media, especially in the age of the meme, especially in the age of the DM. This is very, 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 very important that y'all remember this. On the 15th, don't go missing, don't ghost, whatever word you have for not being around. Valentine's National Cheaters Holiday is the 15th. Even if she says she trusts you, you better be checking in or better be around her as much as humanly possible, as much as she wants or he wants on the 15th. If you go missing for extended hours on the 15th, you will be accused of foul play. And listen, if you do your thing outside of your situation, which we don't condone here on Midnights with Marcus Baby, but if you do, you better wait till the 16th. Because listen, if you go missing on the 15th, any kind of unaccounted for absence in y'all routine, you will be charged with going to see your side piece, your side dude, your side chick. Something is going to convince your mate that you're doing something suspect. If you don't answer the phone like you usually do on the 14th or the 13th, you better have the same habits on the 13th as you have on the 15th, because 15th, all social media platforms are going to be bombarded with happy side chick day, happy national, whatever you do not go missing on the 15th. Do not answer your phone ever. On the 15th, she better know where you are every 15 minutes. Listen, if she hasn't called you, you call her. Y'all better be back and forth checking in with each other every 15 to 30 minutes for the entire day of the 15th. This is very, 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 very important to remember. Because like I said, it might, here's the thing. That's just one of those days of mistrust. And it might have been the perfect Valentine's Day. This is the day, y'all do something for each other and you feel rewarded at the end of the day. I feel like, we really threw our problems away and we just used Valentine's Day to really like appreciate each other and really love on each other and all that good traditional stuff. You really made it. You could have the best, and I do mean the best Valentine's Day experience. Food, sex, energy, entertainment, laughing. You could have the whole quintuplet of perfect Valentine's Day experience. Gifts, all that good stuff. If you go missing, actually, take it a step further. The better the Valentine's Day is on the 14th, the more insecure or the more worried somebody's going to be on the 15th. Because the thought, speaking from male point of view, I've literally watched women, my relationship outside. They're so happy after Valentine's Day that everybody's a threat on February 15th. They want to check your DMs on the 15th. They want to check your phone on the 15th. Baby, we just had a great Valentine's Day. What you doing today? Because now she's super in love. He's super in love because y'all had a great Valentine's Day. So now the antennas are really up because if they treat me this good, I don't want to let nobody near them because they might be treating their side chick this good or somebody might see how good I feel and they're going to try to get my man. Oh, number 3, if I go missing on the 15th, the wife has something to do with it. Oh, especially if you got yes, Sean, yes. It's called a Sunday night Applebee's. So, yes, on the 15th, trust me, whatever you do not have unaccounted for time. She or he, if they reach out to you and you're not near a phone and not ready to FaceTime at the drop of a dime, whatever you did on Valentine's Day to get all the cool points and all that stuff is going right out the window. I'm telling y'all. Doesn't matter what you did on Valentine's Day. 65 roses to represent the 65 ways you love her with the 65 line poem. Like you could have done the most incredibly sweet thing that you could even think of. If you are unaccounted for 1 hour on February 15th, you might as well get into a DeLorean, go back to the future, go back in time, and not done anything on Valentine's Day because everything you just did less than 24 hours ago is 100% null and void if they can't get in touch with you for an hour on the 15th. Take my advice. Do not go missing for 1 second. Not 1 second on the 15th. Okay. Number 4. Another way to undo all of the goodwill that you've earned and you've built up can all be undone by one type of phrase. And here's the problem. If you are a Valentine sponsor, the problem is everybody has thought this before. As a Valentine's Day sponsor, as a former Valentine's Day sponsor myself, a former Valentine's friends, sponsors, all that good stuff. There's one phrase, and you can kind of like twist the phrase around any kind of way you want to. But y'all will know what I'm understanding. Y'all will understand what I'm saying. Y'all will understand exactly what I mean when I say this. Lauren, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, okay. Number 4. On the 15th, you cannot, shall not, must not. And I mean, this is so important, y'all. It's something that you just got to deal with. Hey, if you feel it, shut it up, shut up, bury it. I know they say you shouldn't bury these things inside of your heart deep down. If you are the sponsor, you're going to feel like this, or you have felt like this. And if you're blessed not to feel like this, you have, and pass this advice along to somebody. Do not, 3P, do not mention how broke you are on the 15th. Do not talk about how broke you are on the 15th. Mood killer of the century. Passive aggressive. You owe me more than whatever I got from last night or from yesterday. Do not mention any kind of bank account woes. Do not say, don't make a joke about, yeah, after last night, we probably need to eat in tonight. Do not mention anything about your financial situation on February 15th. Okay? That is very, 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 very important, because it just turns into a, ew. Oh, so I wasn't worth it? The person who got treated on Valentine's Day is like, it's going to be the biggest mood killer. Again, you want to carry this momentum. No, Sean, no. You cannot mention that I worked overtime for this Valentine's Day. You can't mention anything affiliated with money or work or missing work or anything to a financial nature or an effort nature. You cannot remind of any financial woes, any working woes. You cannot bring it up, especially on the 15th. Now, by the time you get to the 18th, they ain't gonna like if you bring it up, but you're better off never bringing it up. But the 15th, you undo everything on the 15th if you bring up how broke you are on Valentine's Day. Not that you did work overtime, but you're gonna. No, Sean, because working overtime, if you say you got to work overtime on the 15th, you just violated rule number 3. You change schedules. You cannot change schedules on the day after Valentine's Day. So you cannot work overtime on the 15th. You cannot talk about working overtime, because whenever you mention overtime or a change in schedule, immediately they're going back to what they read on social media about how you going missing on the side chicks right after Valentine's Day because your side chick or your side piece is mad at you. Now you got to go make up for lost time. So listen, if you got overtime coming up on the 15th, you got to cancel that. Yeah, but this coming week, so for example, today's the 14th. You're not allowed to work overtime on the 15th. If you didn't work it on the 12th, you can't, listen, you can't work it on the 15th. That is a disruption of schedule. You are in trouble. The game is, listen, the game hasn't changed. We're just a little more aware of it now. No extra working on the, yes, Sean, technically the game has changed. Because back then you would think you would get rewarded for being a hard working, oh, hey, baby, I'm gonna put in a little extra time, so this next week, starting on Monday, I'm gonna pick up a couple extra shifts. Oh, no, you're not. She's showing up at work the moment overtime's supposed to start. And you lucky if she give you that much. You're lucky if she don't just assume you already doing something with the side piece. So definitely. You cannot mention any kind of financial crises because you're basically saying whatever you spent, they weren't worth because now you're complaining about it. So the money you spent, you're basically saying this wasn't money well spent by complaining about how broke you are on the 15th. That's how it gets taken. Like you're saying I wasn't worth it or something like that. No, I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying I'm really broke now because I went all out for Valentine's Day. Listen, let it go. Let go of the financial conversation. Really, period. But most important on the 15th. Don't bring that up. And this was part of my number 5. I only brought about half of it, right? Because there was kind of a 2-part number 5. But it has to do, again, these rules and tips of post Valentine's Day are, first of all, they're brought to you by Smirnoff. And they're tips to help you get maximum long-term ROI, return on investment, maximum long-term ROI on what you should do on the 15th to make sure this goes on for the future. Okay, last one. You will not, if you're smart, if you're very smart, and you did something really nice, whatever you did on Valentine's Day, you must occupy as much as you can their social media. You're going to have to monopolize their time to keep them out of the social media world on the 15th. Why do I say this? I don't know the phrase, and I'm going to butcher a phrase, but I'll just make up my own. Y'all don't know the phrase I'm talking about, but I'm just going to make up my own. And if I'm close to it, great. If not, y'all will get the point. Comparison is the mother of all misery. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison will ruin or undo everything you did on Valentine's Day. Do not, if you can stop this in any way, if her scrolling time is usually 7 to 9 p.m. on the 15th, you have to plan something from 7 to 9 on the 15th to get her out of her daily fix of social media. Why do I tell you this? And why is this so important? Because no matter how good you did on Valentine's Day, somebody did it a hell of a lot better. I know you brought out the rose petals. I know you brought the chocolates. I know you went out and rented a fondue fountain so we could whipped cream chocolate rose petals while enjoying whatever movie. You went all out. You rented the place. You rented the thing. You did it all. Everything. You pulled out the stops. But somebody she knows took a trip to Cancun. And they did everything you did, but they did it on an island. Their view outside of the Vegas window was immaculate. So not only did they have the fondue fountain, the cakes, the candy, the caramels, all that good stuff, that dude for her did something better. And she's going to scroll and scroll and scroll. Listen, and I'm saying her. Apply this to dudes too. Because I think Lamar, listen, if you follow Lamar Jackson, there's a video of, if I saw the video right, I was just kind of quick scrolling. There's a video of Valentine's, and Lamar Jackson's comment is, dude's gonna wife her. Dude's gonna mess around, get married. Something to that effect, right? So this girl, this applies to everybody equally. Keep your mate off of social media, because comparison will undo everything you did. People just can't control their brains. This lady had on the bed every type of retro Jordan you can imagine. Cash spread out in a heart shape. Like cash to go do whatever you want to do, player. Like, this is your night. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. This dude got 8 pairs of Jordans. Couple thousand on the table. Some steak or something that he might like or something, you know. And her comment on it is, happy Valentine's Day, babe. Did I do a good job? Don't let your man see this on the internet. Because ladies, whatever you did, and I'm speaking in generalities and theoretically, he's gonna see something that somebody did that just shut your idea all the way down. Dude, everything you did to her, when she posts romantic vacation, happy Valentine's Day to y'all, I'll be back on next Saturday. Your girl just saw her girlfriend in a robe somewhere where it's real hot. She looking at the news. She know we get ready to get a foot of snow, and all of that stuff you did on all the stuff that you did is undone. Not that she or he is not grateful for what you did, but it just stuck something in the back of their brain that just compared what you did to what somebody else is getting on social media. So listen, all this stuff, right, Jeff, all this stuff I'm saying is important. You have to seal the deal on the 15th. That's where you win the game. You don't win it on Valentine's, you win it on the 15th. If you don't dominate the fourth quarter, you can't win. How many teams we watch can win for 3 quarters? Okay. How many teams have we watched play great for 3 quarters? But if you can't win in the 4th quarter or overtime, you can't get to the ultimate goal, which is the championship, where you will be remembered for eternity. So, the quick review of the 5 things to do on the 15th, or to make sure these are 5 tips, very important tips for February 15th, post, right. I did see Wisconsin too, Sean. I did see that. I actually saw that. That was interesting too. We'll have to talk about that another time. Again, tip number 1, do not expect their attitude on Valentine's Day to carry over in some thankful way. If they do, great. If they don't, expect it. Do not remind them of what you did for them the day before. Don't ask them, hey, how good was that steak I made for you? Don't ask them to speak about it. Don't remind them passive aggressively to show more appreciation, because they're going to be like, you think I owe you something now? Like, you're supposed to do that out of the kindness of your heart. Don't remind them. Step number 1, on the 15th, don't remind them what you did. Don't bring it up. Let it go. She's not going to change her attitude because you killed it on Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day. But if you don't bring it up, it's still kind of, you can leave, it just kind of floats around kind of in the ethos where it's always there, but you don't have to bring it up. This is a score, but don't undo the score by bringing it up on the 15th. Number 2, whoever bought and paid for the Valentine's Day, whoever was the sponsor for Valentine's Day, make sure if you're not the sponsor of Valentine's Day, you don't let the sponsor pay for the next meal on the 15th. Trust me. Nothing stings like paying for the food on February 15th if you had to pay for it on February 14th. You think, oh no, my man, he don't care. Your man cares. Hey man, my girl don't care, man. She don't mind paying for the food. If she paid for the food on the 14th, I don't care what you better find. Listen, you better get on that internet, find yourself a cookbook, and whip up something really good. But whatever, if she paid for dinner on Valentine's Day, you better go pawn something. I don't care how broke you are. You better get a cash it back. You better do something to pay for some good food on the 15th. You don't recover from that. Trust me. You think your person won't mind? They will mind. They will mind. If they took you out to eat on the Valentine's Day, make sure that you do something, like I said, under the radar to the food. You make sure they eat, and you make sure they don't have to pay for that food on the 15th. That's something that would just underneath, that will fester over time. So, number 3, all whereabouts must be accounted for on the 15th. If you disappear at all, if you break routine, if you're unaccounted for any extended time on the 15th, and again, this is not long-term people. Well, I guess even long-term people too. There's nothing like suspicion on the 15th. And the internet is going to be flooded with cheater day stuff, National Side Chick Day, National Side Dude Day, National Work Husband, Work Wife Day. You know what I'm saying? The internet is going to be flooded with 15th memes. Trust me, you don't want your mate reading all that stuff and them call you and you not answer. You wipe out Valentine's Day if they try to contact you and you're off the grid on the 15th. It's very, very important. Number 4, you may not 1 second bring up one kind of finance. Whatever you did, they think they were worth it. If you question what you did, that means you're questioning if it was worth it or not. And whatever love they've shown you up until this point is into question now. You did something nice on Valentine's Day, and now you're questioning if I even deserved it the minute you mention money. I'm broke today. I got to get my money back right. Look, we can't do that because my bread ain't right. Nope. You better find a way to say no and make it. And look, and you better cough or something. You better listen. You better say you got a bit of a temperature and you don't want to do whatever is going to cost money. You fake a fever, you fake something. But whatever you do, you don't acknowledge that you can't afford to do something on the 15th. It'll ruin it all. It will literally ruin everything you brought to the table. Do not talk, mention, think money on the 15th. Last one, keep them off of social media. Comparison is the thief of joy. Somebody always outdid you on the internet. Don't let them sit around reading the internet, looking at what everybody else did. Because I'm telling you, on one of my favorite movies, Rounders, you'll notice this over time. As you get older, you'll notice everybody remembers the bad beats of their career, the times they lost heartbreakers. Even poker players with the best memories on the planet, they don't even remember all the good times that they won. Strange as it seems, very few poker players can remember the big pots that they won. But they can all remember with remarkable accuracy the bad beats of their career. Which means you could have gotten your mate the best Valentine's, and they'll scroll and say, well, mine was better than that, mine's better than that, mine's better than that, mine's better than that, mine's better. Oh my God. Honey, you know my friend Keisha from work? Yeah, she went to Cancun. She's not even coming back till Monday. Yeah, she has beautiful flower arrangements and all that stuff. Huh, isn't that awesome? Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, Jeff. Every second has to be accounted for. And that was definitely step number 3. But again, keep your mate off of social media because it will, whatever you did, it will bring back. So listen, you better off saying no social media for hey baby, I just want us to be in each other's presence and you deserve 2 Valentine's days. So on the 14th and the 15th, we're going to act like we're going to do a 48-hour Valentine's Day. So what we're going to do is no social media. No social media at all, because they are going to find somebody that did not do as well as you on Valentine's Day, and they're going to talk about it. And also, don't entertain it. Don't talk about it. Don't entertain it. When they talk about how nice somebody else did on Valentine's Day, don't fall for it. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a way to start setting up how much better you can do. Once you open the door to what somebody else did on their Valentine's Day, you never get it. You're gonna get dropped with hints and stuff that somebody else did that was awesome, and it's gonna chip away at your ego, and it's gonna chip away at what you did or didn't do on the day before. Don't open the door. Don't entertain it. Don't let them compare it. Don't, even if she says or he says, you made my Valentine's Day better than so and so and so and so. Don't open the door. That's a trap. Because it's going to say, oh, well, it was better than them, but they had a nice one too. So don't even open the door. Don't compare it. Even if they say you did better than anybody else, don't compare it to past relationships. Don't compare it. Don't let them bring up comparison at all on the 15th. Not on social media, not in real life. Don't let any kind of comparisons unfold. So it's officially February 15th. Remember my tips, pass them along, help a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is free game for the 15th to maximize return on investment from February 14th. Happy belated Valentine's Day to everybody I didn't get to talk to on Valentine's Day. Enjoy yourself. You can tell people to go back and watch the video if they need further explanation. Look, then they're not listening. That's all you can do. Enjoy it, y'all. I did enjoy the Valentine's Day edition of Midnights with Marcus Maven. So I guess